Hey guys, this is Mr. Nightmare here, and today we'll be reading Chapter 9 of Don't Go to Sleep, a Jeff the Killer love story. Before we get started, please hit that like button, comment, subscribe to this channel if you guys want more creepypasta fanfictions out there. Until then, let's get started. Chapter 9, Failure is Not an Option. I was sitting there waiting patiently for Alex to wake up from this nightmare each and every night from the moment I found out. For some reason, I didn't leave because I was bored. It was because of something else. I haven't felt these emotions for so long, since the day my brother was put into the juvenile detention center because of my actions. Alex re-sparked that emotion, and it continued to grow. Never in a million years I would think that Alex would be the one to break that shell. Yet, here we are. Sitting, waiting patiently like I did every night, only this nightmare you were trapped in. I let my guard down for a second, and now your life is at risk because of me. All I could do was hold your hand. It made me feel so weak and helpless. For the first time in years. But I will never leave your side. I will never let you fall. I will never let you break. Most importantly, I will never let you die, because I cared about you more than anything in this world. I noticed the purple veins started to disappear or dissolve into your arms and neck. I turned my head in complete suspicion as my eyes grew wider before praying that you survive the ordeal and kick that bitch's ass. Alex, I muttered as you moaned, trying to wake up from your sleep. I held my breath in anticipation. I could hear my heartbeat rapidly, almost completely blocking your sound. Alex lifted herself with her eyes still closed as you took your free hand and rubbed your head. Jeff, you called out in that sweet voice. My eyes began to tear up. I couldn't control them from flowing them. Oh, thank God, I muttered. I was about to reach and hug you, but Ben noticed something was wrong. Jeff, don't touch her! Ben yelled. Awake from my daze, and I saw your eyes were not your eyes. You fool, a familiar voice spoke. Ben rushed in and grabbed me from the back of my collar and placed me far away from her. Then I got a better look. I noticed that it wasn't you. Your eyes turned into a black pool with purple pupils. Your energy seemed different. It was Mind Freak. You were such an easy prey when it comes to this weakness, the little human, Mind Freak chuckled. I clenched my fists. My body began to tremble in both rage and a little fear. I reached for my blade in my hoodie pocket without thinking and rushed towards her, holding the blade ready to stab her. Jeff, don't do it! Ben called out, and then her hand lifted up to stop me in my tracks. I was completely frozen. You should listen to your friend, Jeff. If you damage this body, then you're harming your precious little human, Mind Freak grinned ear to ear. What? I managed to speak from my frozen state. Well, I would love to talk, but I got to head out and see my love. I bet he'll be glad to see me again. Mind Freak began to float out of the house as nothing ever happened before. Ben stayed behind me and freed me from her trap. Once he did, I bolted out the door, hoping to find her, but she was gone. Alex was gone. I arched my back and lifted my head and began to yell in the top of my lungs. feeling this pain again, this absolute worst thing I could ever experience, especially when it involved Alex. I failed to protect her. Now her life at the mercy of that bitch. Jeff, Ben approached me as soon as he got close to me. I quickly turned and grabbed him by the shoulder. We need to get her back. You got some kind of spell that can help us? Do you? I yelled frankly at him. He was shocked at my sudden outburst. It took a goddamn minute for him to respond. I don't know, Ben muttered as my grip on his shoulders began to tighten. Are you sure? I asked him coldly. Ben nodded as I slowly removed my hands from his shoulder. Once he was free, he started to back away, and I fell to the ground onto my knees. I could feel tears dripping down my cheeks, looking like raindrops on the concrete. Why? How on the earth did a normal-looking human girl like Alex get to me? A cold-hearted, nasty, bloodlust, insane, evil killer. But she did. She allowed me to stay and made my heart warm again. I may look like I didn't give a damn, but in reality, I cared. I cared about her well-being. I wanted her to see her smile, hear her laugh more. I wanted to be the one that calmed her down from those nightmares. Thus, my appearance would be the only barrier. Alex didn't seem to mind. I didn't care what I looked like. Instead, Alex paid attention to the person inside me, far deeper than the killer disguise. She saw part of me that I didn't even understand until now. From there, my goals was to protect her. As also, I could unlock more of these secret emotions and desires I didn't even know that were inside of me because of Alex. I finally understand. I finally realized more to me than I thought. For that, I loved her. There has to be a way to Ben, I muttered. Well, you could try a combo spell, but it'll take me a bit of time, Ben said. How long? I asked, trying to wipe away the rest of my tears. It would take an hour or so, Ben responded. That might be too late, I added. Do you really think Alex is still in there? Mindcreep doesn't have enough power to transform completely. She would need at least half a day to get her full body back. So, if I start now, we can make it in time. He reached out a hand for me. I firmly took it and he lifted me up. Hey, Ben. Yeah? Thank you. I smiled at him, and he smiled back. Out of all his honesty, that was really nice. We both walked back inside the house, and I sat down on the sofa. I need your blade, Jeff. I took out my blade from my pocket and handed it to him. What's it for, Ben? I asked curiously. This is not maybe the greatest, but it's our best chance to save her. The only way to stop Mindfreak is to get her out of Alex's body, but the best way to do that is to get into the body, Ben explained. Wait, so you mean I knew exactly what Ben was thinking, but I did not like it. Yes, you will have to stab her. My jaw dropped in hearing that phrase. Normally I will get excited about an action like this, but what if going to happen to her? I wanted no part of it. No way, you need to find another way. Jeff, this is the only way we have, the only option. Then do it. I promise I will never harm her. I defended. I can't. She'll know right away. But if it was you, she would probably let her guard down, argued Ben. Mindfreak has not only been in a relationship with the head of the creepypasta gang, that has less desires for me. I found it very sickening, but Ben had a good point. She still had the flames for me. She had more opportunity to attack. I hate to admit it, but you're right. It would be our best option. I surrendered the argument. We both sat across from each other while Ben performed the amount of spells. I couldn't keep track of them, but I could tell he was putting a lot of energy to help me. She currently has changed you, Jeff. Ben spoke. I woke up from the sight of my daydream. Yeah, she has, I muttered. I'm quite happy that you found a reason to live. I remember when you first arrived, you had that face of death, loss of hope, loss of good emotions inside you. Though I can be deceiving inside, I knew that you were suffering because you lost more than destroyed the only part of your life that cared for you. When you found her, I saw that spark of emotion arise, and I wanted to keep that going after her because I saw hope for you. Geez, Ben, you're just as cheesy as ever, but you're not wrong, I chuckled. That's why I'm going to do my very best to help you get her back. Give you back the life you lost. You're my friend, Jeff, and I'm willing to help you. Ben spoke as such as powers in his words. For once, I had faith in what he said. Within the hour and 10 minutes, the blade was finally ready. Ben looked like hell. Dude, are you going to be alright? I asked concerned. Yeah, I'll be fine. Also, one more thing. You need to distract Mind Freak long enough for me to recover. So I'm using healing spells on her. This will combine with a fatal with her unless I use my magic. Got this? I didn't answer at the time with a smartass remark. I simply nodded. Yes, I spoke. Good, now hold on. We're heading to the Slenderman Manor. Ben quickly teleported us to the Slenderman Manor using whatever power Ben had left. He started to go limp for a bit and we started walking. I crouched down to Ben and looked confused. Get on my back, dude. I said in a low tone. Ben was still a little confused. It's fine. I can walk. Ben stuttered and kept his chin from showing any sign of weakness. No, you can't. You used up all your magic. At least take this once in a lifetime offer for a few minutes to recover. I raised my voice at him. Thus, his stubbornness he knew I was right. So Ben started to climb onto my back. He didn't seem heavy, but I could sense that he really needed it. I began to walk with the magic blade in my pocket. Ben resting on my back. Who knows? For all this for a human girl that I fell in love with. I still couldn't believe it for myself, but these were the two variables. It was all proof I needed. With the combined a couple of minutes, I heard wolf growling, howling as they were coming. For 5 gray wolves approached me. I could tell I haven't been home for a long time and they didn't recognize me. I couldn't defend myself with Ben on my back. The only weapon I had was only to use against Mind Freak. I was in deep shit. Suddenly I heard a low sound of a high-pitched whistle. The wolves backed off. What the hell is all the commotion, you guys? A voice called through the fog. I remember that voice. It was Laughing Jack. He came through the fog and whistled his hand and took a look at me. Well, us. He seemed surprised. Well, never thought to see you two come back, especially in the condition of the news of an uninvited guest that just arrived. Jack spoke in his annoying accent. I could tell it was French or Russian. I didn't fucking know, but all I know, it was annoying. Good to see you two, I said in a sarcastic tone. What are you doing here? You know Slenderman has some unfinished business to deal with. Yeah, I know. But where's Mind Freak? She's back at the mansion. In Slenderman's room. She's really wanting to make herself quite comfortable. Jack said with a disgusted look on his face. So she won't be here for long. Not when I'm done with her, I said with a grin on my face. Then let's head back to the mansion. Jack began to escort us back to the house. God, I hate being back here.
Hey, you made it to the end of the video. I'm glad. If you want more Ben Drowned love stories, check out the playlist that will be popping up soon. Also, if you want any more fanfictions narrations, please check out my other channel, Reading with Blade, which has multiple fanfictions up already. If you are interested in the Yaoi experience, check out Tyler O'Connell's channel if you want to go there. But note that channel is only 18 and up. I've been listening to Tyler's stories and I'm addicted to them. Until then, bye guys!